Oh, and yes, I do have my coffee, my iced coffee in a mug with a straw that is comically large, but I'm trying to save on dishes right now, and I didn't feel like hand washing one of them until I ran my dishwasher, so we have my little Epcot mug. Today we are going to be going over my 2025 anticipated releases. So all of these are romances with the exception of one of them, but that book is arguably the one that I'm the most excited for this year. But anyways, it is kind of tricky. This list is not super long. I think I maybe have like 10 releases, and then I'm going to talk about my schedule for 2025 a little bit, so that way you guys can be in the know of what I'm working on. But it's a little hard for making anticipated releases lists for me as a primarily indie romance reader, because a lot of indie authors don't announce their releases super far in advance. They're normally like announced a month, 2 months, 3 months out. So at least most of these I think are pretty much coming in the earlier half of this year. But some of them, you know, are just ones that haven't even like fully been announced, but I know they're like in the works potentially. But yeah, let's go ahead and run them down. First one is, and these are in no particular order, they're just like as I thought of them. First one up on this list is The Broker by Nikki Sloan. This one is the 6th book in the Nashville Neighbors series, and I have loved this series. I've loved the first 5 books. The Good Girl in particular is my favorite. That is book 5. Tons of great tropes, and honestly, I don't really even know what this was. I don't know if we've met these characters or not. I feel like when I read the blurb, the names didn't like jump out at me, so I don't know if we've met them. I'm assuming maybe we have, but they're all like interconnected romance series, so you don't have to read them in order. They can all be read as standalones, except I do suggest if you're going to read The Good Girl to read The Doctor first, because The Doctor is an ex-boyfriend's dad's romance, and then the ex-boyfriend's book is book number 5, so that's really fun. Aria also wants to read The Broker. What? Yeah? Why don't you come and say hi? Anyways, really excited about The Broker. I just love this series, and I'm excited to get more in it. Next up, King of Envy by Anna Huang, which I was like, do I put this book on this list because I haven't read King of Sloth yet, which is book 4, but I'm putting it on here because I love the Kings of Sin series. I love Anna Huang's books. We know this, we don't need to go over it again. However, this one, honestly, I don't remember we've been introduced to him, right? Is it the one with the name that I can't pronounce? Is this his book? Or no, or are people thinking that that's a different one? You know what? Off the top of my head, I don't know. But I'm really excited about it because I will read this entire series, even if, like I said, I'm behind right now on King of Sloth. I will get caught up and I will be reading them all. I've really enjoyed the first 3. They're all billionaire romances, kind of all centering a little, not like centering, but it's more so like the kind of common thread is that all the billionaires are members of the Valhalla Club, which is this obviously like very exclusive high-end club that all of them go and like have drinks at, you know, like do business deals at. So that's kind of how they're like linked all together and how everyone kind of knows each other, but I'm obviously excited for it. Next up, we have The Charlie Method by Elle Kennedy. This is the 3rd and I think final book in, is it the Campus Diaries series? Now, I have loved both of the first 2 books. These are all like hockey romances, and I'm assuming this one's a hockey romance as well, right? Because isn't the one guy, the one teammate, I think this is his book, but I'm pretty sure this one is an MMF or MFM. I'm not quite sure, but I think our heroine's name is Charlie, and she goes on a dating app and she's like chatting with these 2 guys, and I'm pretty sure then that's our heroes that we met. I think it's Shane's friend, right? That we met in the Dixon Rule, you know, from like the kitchen scene. I'm pretty sure it's him, and then his one other friend, right? I think so, but I'm really, really excited about it. I just love Elle Kennedy's hockey books. I'm a big fan of her writing, specifically with how she writes banter between characters, so I have really high expectations of this one. And also, I think, although maybe in her one other series she's done like MFM or MMF, but this is the first one that like I've read from her that is that kind of relationship style. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great time. Next up, we have Kiss the Villain by Rena Kent. Arguably the one, actually besides the one that I'll talk about next, that I am most excited for. This is one of my most anticipated releases. And I say this a lot where I'm like, I'm going to drop everything the second this book comes out. And then like that almost never happens because I'm never in the mood for it. I'm not joking. The second this book comes out, I will be reading it because this is technically a Legacy of Gods spin-off book, but it is following Gareth, who you have met. If you've read Legacy of Gods, you've met him already, and his professor. It's an student-teacher romance. It's obviously gonna be dark. Oh, the like little itty bits and pieces that we got, the scraps of them on the side that we got, I was like frothing for them. I was like, please, Raina Kent, please write this book. Please, because y'all know also student teacher is my favorite trope. And the fact that she's giving us this book, I genuinely cannot express how excited I am for it. I think it's coming out maybe March-ish. I don't know. I didn't write down any of the release dates for these. I think these are all like coming out though, like soon-ish, relatively soon-ish, like by summer. Oh, I cannot wait. And then also another one, which I'll throw in here. I didn't have this on this list, but actually I think she still said that she's releasing it this year, is Beautiful Venom, which is her dark hockey romance, which she was originally going to be releasing first, but then when she got like Kiss the Villain going, then she slotted that one in first, which thank God. But I'm also really excited for Beautiful Venom because I love hockey romances and I will read pretty much anything that she wants to write. So she wants to write dark hockey. I am completely sold. And once again, we'll be downloading this immediately. The book that I am the most excited for this year, it's not even a romance, but that is The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. I am a huge Hunger Games fan. That's where my love of reading originally started, was reading those books back in middle school. I have reread them time and time and time again. I rewatch the movies on a yearly basis, and I love that world so much. And I'm so excited to be getting this book, which is going to be taking place. It's like Haymitch's Games. It's the 50th quarter quell. And I cannot wait. Because obviously, okay, listen here. Aria, why are you yelling? She wants to be heard too. I don't know if you guys can hear her in the background, but she is like legitimately screaming. We're going to pause. I'm going to go see what she needs, and we'll be back. The queen bee, no, say hi, say hi, say hi. Okay, or you can go lay on the bed. Right, that's your usual spot. I don't know why you're not settled in. That's her usual napping spot. Oh, you're gonna leave again? Don't start crying again, please. Anyways, I have always loved Haymitch's character, but then specifically back when what year was that? That was when I was a senior in high school, I think, is when Mockingjay Part 1 came out. And I was seeing it with my friends. We all went to like the midnight showing of it in the theater. When Haymitch first came on screen with his beanie, I was like, hey, how's it going? And all my friends were like, you have issues. I was like, no, I'm right on this. And over the years, they have all been like, yeah, there's something about him in the beanie. And I'm like, thank you. But anyways, not even just for that. I've just always loved Haymitch's character. I've always loved his relationship with Katniss. More specifically, like in the books. I mean, the movie did it great too. But like, I just always really, really loved his character. And now to know that we're getting the 50th quarter quell, I will literally take any books in this universe that Suzanne Collins wants to write though. Like every single one. I loved Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I know some people thought it was boring. I personally didn't. I absolutely loved it. I loved the movie and I'm so excited for this. It's gonna be amazing. I just already know. Next is one when I don't actually know. I think this one, it's obviously coming out this year. I don't think there's a release date out there for it yet. I could be wrong on that. But Burn Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Now this is the first book in their new series, which is following the Cobalt Empire, which if you've read the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, Rose and Connor, this is like their second generation. So obviously we've already seen some of the second generation in the Like Us series. Their oldest daughter, Jane, she has 2 books in that. And then you see some of the other Cobalt siblings, but as side characters. None of the rest of them have romances in that one. But this series now is going to be following like the Cobalt specifically, which I'm so excited about because Rose and Connor are my favorite couple from that entire world. Jane and Thatcher were honestly one of my favorite. I love Mafia and Pharaoh. The two of them just like are unmatched, like those 2 couples in the Like Us series. I'm really excited to just get more with these characters. They just feel very realistic. The way that Krista and Becca Ritchie write their characters, write their interactions, write their inner thoughts. Like they feel like very real people. And I'm just really, really excited to see more from the Cobalt family and their antics. And I don't know how many books this series is. Is it going to be 5 books? Aria Wren! Next up, these are 2 that do not have, actually, okay, so my last 3 before I get into the ones that I'm going to talk about, like my books, do not have release dates, and I don't even know, I think they're coming this year. First up is House of Rain by Harley LaRue. I don't even think I have anything to actually put up here because Harley LaRue has talked about this book and that it is their current work in progress, but they've not given like any real like concrete timelines on this book, but it is is it a dark academia sapphic romance? Okay. Thank you for that reminder. Is that it's a I know it's for sure sapphic, and I'm pretty sure it's dark academia as well. And the reason I don't even need to know a blurb is just because I love Harley LaRue's books. I have read almost every single one of them. I have not read the last book in the Souls trilogy. That is the only other book that I have to read from them, but I absolutely love their writing. I'm really excited to get a sapphic romance from them, and I think it's gonna be great. So I'm putting that up here. Quiet Ones by Penelope Douglas. Again, I was like, should I put this one on here when I haven't even finished Pirate Girls yet, which is book 2? But I don't know. Penelope Douglas hasn't said if they're releasing this one this year, but it's kind of been like, it was like Pirate Girls 1 year, and then, or it was Falls Boys, Pirate Girls, like they kind of do like one a year. So I'm just assuming that Quiet Ones is probably coming, and I loved Falls Boys, but the slump really killed me in terms of getting around to reading Pirate Girls. So, but like I said, we're starting 2025 out strong, and we're not gonna let myself get slumpy again this year, especially not after Kiss the Villain comes out. We're not gonna allow that again. And then last one before I get into mine is Steal My Heart by Morgan Page. So again, this is one that does not have like a release date or anything. Morgan Page just talked about it on her Instagram, and that this is her work in progress. It's a duet. It's a forbidden romance duet. So the first book, I forget what the first book's title is. It's like, I think it's A Brother's Best Friend, which I do love. But then when I slid through the carousel and saw Steal My Heart, the title, with the little tagline of it being a professor-student romance, the level of excitement that ascended out of my body, like, I feel like no one is writing student-teacher romances anymore, and they are my favorite. So I am so excited for this. I literally don't even know anything more, but I will read anything student-teacher. So that has made it on my list as well. All right, so those are all of the 2025 anticipated, I think, at least that like I thought of off the top of my head when I was getting ready to sit down and make this video. So I might have missed some, but at least that is what I think is ahead over the next few months. But then I wanted to quickly talk about what you can expect from me this coming year in 2025. I already posted like a little graphic on my Instagram during my like end of year wrap up at the end of last year, where I just like shared the 3 titles of the 3 works that I will have out for you guys this year. So first up of the 3 books that I will have coming in 2025 is Goalie. That is a complete standalone romance, completely separate from the Whisper Me Nothing series. And I still have not said really anything more about that book, and I will not say anything more about that book, except that it is a standalone. And obviously I had always said that the title will kind of give away probably at least part of what you think the book is about. And yeah, I feel like 2 sports kind of come to mind when you hear the word goalie, or like 2 main sports, and that would be soccer and hockey. And let's just say that I am not a soccer fan whatsoever. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about Goalie. I'm having a lot of fun writing it. I'm having genuine fun writing it, which feels so good. And that one will be coming out in spring sometime, probably May-ish, like late May. Just in terms of like my editing deadline and then timeline of that, I'm thinking probably like an end of May release, but I will obviously let you guys know as soon as I know. Multiple tropes that I have never written before, but I think you guys are really, really going to love it. I think you're gonna be excited about it. Then the second book that I will release this year, again, probably like late summer timeline, like maybe like August, September, is Take Me Home. That is the 4th and final book in the Whisper Me Nothing series. That is Reed's romance. And if you have read Take What You Want, then you already know who his heroine is and what that main trope is, which is why I have kept that, again, close to the chest, because I didn't want to spoil that. And I won't spoil that right now, right here, obviously, in case Take What You Want just came out, so I won't say anything about that, but I'm really excited. Again, it's a trope that I have not written before yet, and I think you guys are really gonna like it, and I hope that the people who have been reading Whisper Me Nothings are satisfied with Reed's arc by the end of this last book. I'm really, really excited to get into this book. It is kind of nice just taking a break from like the rock star atmosphere, but I am really, really excited to finish writing Reed's story and in turn like that series, my first ever series, and bringing that to a conclusion. That will be out again like late summer. And then the last book that is technically a novella that I'm going to be releasing, and that is going to be called Save Me From Myself. And I know that technically Take Me Home is the last book in the Whisper Me Nothing series, but I am going to be writing a Walker and Scar novella. They are my hero and heroine from Take You Down, my very first book that I ever wrote. And I know when people read that book and read the epilogue, they were like, the epilogue only takes place like a week later. What do you mean? Like, we don't get to see them like years down the line. And because I always knew that I would want to go back and revisit them and that their story was not done yet. So I didn't want to write myself into a hole by showing them like too far out. And once again, if you have read Take What You Want, I kind of laid some of the groundwork in for kind of what's going on with the two of them. And so it is going to be a novella kind of there. The timeline is going to overlap a little bit with Take What You Want and Take Me Home. And then it will show like a 10-year later epilogue of what everyone is up to in the Whisper of Nothing series. And yeah, like I said, that'll be a novella, not going to be a full-length book. They don't need that much time, but you know, they did still have a little bit more story to explore, and I'm really, really excited to get to that. I already pretty much have it outlined, so I think that should be a fairly quick write, knock on wood. But yeah, that will come at the end of the year. I'm hoping, I would love to release it on the 2-year anniversary of Take You Down's release, which would be October 16th. I'm not making any promises on that. That would just be, I would love that, but it'll probably end up being like October, November timeline-ish on that one. So anyways, that is what I have upcoming for this year. I'm really, really excited for all of the projects that I'll be working on. And even looking ahead into 2026, I pretty much have that all outlined of what I'm going to be working on. So I am just really, really excited about all of the books that I can bring you guys this year. So anyways, that is it for today's video. I think I'm gonna have a rec video up next, but once again, like, I'm bulk filming, so I'm like filming these kind of far in advance, so I don't fully know when that'll go up or even when this one's going up, but whatever, you'll see it when you see it. So anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.